Hello and welcome to this episode of Coach's Corner. This podcast is where we talk all things deep in the world of health, fitness, business and mindset with people excelling in their game. My name is Sam Eames and this is episode 24. Before we jump into it, here's a little thing from our sponsors. Do you need to sell business assets or buy equipment and don't know where to turn? Global business auctioneers and valuers can help. With decades of expertise under Director Terry Kirkham, Global offers high-quality valuations, business exit planning, and full asset realization services from industrial and machinery and vehicles to fleet, plants, specialized equipment, and even hospitality or retail fixtures. They run frequent online and on-site auctions, tender sales, or private sales, giving you flexible, transparent options to get maximum market value. To explore upcoming auctions or talk about your asset needs, call 1300 557 112 or head to globalauctioneers.com.au. Recovery isn't a luxury, it's a necessity for anyone who wants to perform at their best, physically or mentally. With proven recovery tools like saunas, steam rooms, ice baths, massages, float tanks, everything is designed to help you relieve tension, reduce pain, and recharge fast. If you want to improve your performance, energy, and overall well-being, book your session at Staley Wellness Centre today, located at 26 Main Drive, Boccarina, the Sunshine Coast. Right, my guest today is a fellow personal trainer here at World Gym Birkengarry, Dana Roberts.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, Dana, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Thanks for doing the podcast.
That's okay.
How'd you go with the puppy this morning? How hard was it to leave the house?
Oh my gosh, it was going good. Like I woke up and I was ready to go, and then he pooped outside and also stood in it and ran it through the house, and I was like,
Perfect.
you're so cute, but I hate you a little bit right now.
Perfect start to a Monday.
I know. I was like, I'm in a rush. I'm running late. Please behave.
Yeah.
But he's just a puppy.
What'd you call it? Wallace.
Wally
Okay.
for short. Yeah.
What sort of dog is it?
He's a cocker spaniel.
Okay.
Purebred. Yeah.
Yep.
English cocker, so the longer nose.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. And it's how old?
3 months.
Okay.
Yeah, I picked him up on Friday. Very impulse buy. I didn't even have like dog food or anything ready, so it was very impulsive, but so cute.
So goodbye to holidays.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll just start off with your origin story. So kind of how you got into PT and I guess what kind of made you fall in love with fitness. But what's your earliest memory of falling in love with fitness?
I honestly have been really into fitness, and this is going to sound crazy, but I want to say from maybe like 12 or 10.
Okay.
My stepmom used to take me into the gym with her while she did her PT session, and I'd just walk on the treadmill, like so anxious because I was like a young girl.
Yep.
But I was only allowed to be on the treadmill, and I'd just get so excited about going to the gym. I thought it was so cool.
Yeah.
And then I'd go home and put Beyonce on and like use the exercise ball. Don't know what I was doing, but I was just like exercise. And I did that. That was probably like the first memory I have, like from like actual gym memory.
Okay.
But I started properly training at the gym when I was 15.
Okay.
Yeah, so long time ago, more than 10 years now.
Yeah.
And
Did
then,
you grow up around here, or you grew
No,
up Townsville? That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, it's been a while, and
Yep.
I've just loved it ever since. I've had like periods where I wasn't doing it because I was just growing up and
Yep.
drinking and doing other things, but
Yep.
always been into the gym.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And then was there a specific moment when you realised you wanted to be a PT?
Look, I wanted to be a PT when I was younger, but I had the go to school, go to uni kind of thing drilled into me, and I thought that PTs didn't make much money either, so I was like, didn't really want to pursue it. So I started studying exercise physiology anyways,
Yep.
wasn't really into it, and then I later on in life decided that I don't really care if they don't make much money. Like I feel like, and then as soon as I started doing it, I was like, realized that there's actually quite a bit of money to make. Yeah,
Yep.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, if you really work on it. So it was really, changing, eye-changing, I suppose.
Yeah. Cool. So how long have you been at Worlds for now?
I used to work at Worlds on the reception.
Here? Not here.
No, in Townsville, like maybe 5 years ago, just after COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've been working here as a PT now for just a year, maybe coming just over it now.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then prior to Worlds up in Townsville, like reception work.
Yeah.
What about before that?
Before that, it was another gym, reception, and then I was at uni the whole time as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then after uni, I went into business. I was doing like sales in software, and then I did HR. And then I was like, surely not everybody wakes up every day hating their job.
Yeah. Yep.
And then I decided I don't want to do that for the rest of my life, and changed.
Change something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty cool.
No looking back.
No looking back. No, I think this is probably the best industry to be in, if you're passionate about it, of course. Yeah.
And you can tell the ones that are passionate about it and the ones that are not so much.
Yes, I think some people just do it because they like to train, and they don't really care about the other people.
No.
But you got to be really people focused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's probably something that people don't really know or focus on, maybe PT school as well, is depends on what course and what organisation you go through. They don't really touch on the business aspect, maybe like a Cert 1 or Cert 2 level of business, but other than that, like...
Oh man, you get your certificate and you're like, okay, what now?
Yeah, I need a fucking ABN, I need insurance.
Yeah, they don't teach any of that. And they don't teach any of the people skills that you need either.
No.
I found, like, because there is a substantial amount of psychology to it.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that's kind of like things that you learn through it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
If you could talk to your younger self on day one of being a PT, what would you say?
Gosh, I don't know. It wasn't that long ago, but I would probably say
I'm sure you've learnt a lot in the last 12 months.
Yeah, I have. I would probably say just be yourself. So I started out, because I came from obviously a corporate background, the act professional and be very like, this type of way.
Yep.
And I thought that was the case still. And to a certain circumstance, like you have to have a level of professionalism, but I think people like to relate to you a lot. And if you're putting on this like professional facade, they just can't relate to you. They think, well, I'm the only person that can't follow a plan, like this person doesn't get me. I feel like you have to be yourself to be different to everyone else. So yeah, I would say don't do the professional I mean, obviously you've got to have some level of professionalism. And not like talking about yourself or talking about whatever you got up to on the weekend. Like, depends on the client though. But I guess a little bit of a tangent. What would be your opinion on if you got to a point where you grew your business and you couldn't quite have enough time for all the clients that were coming in? What are your thoughts on then hiring in another younger trainer to then work for you? Because I've always been a little bit funny about that. Yeah, this is a sticky point for me too, because it is so personality based for me. Like I've built my whole personal brand online. And I've always thought maybe people aren't going to want to work for someone that's working for me because they want to buy into me.
Well, it's personal training. Personal,
exactly. So I don't know how I feel. I know some people are really successful with it, and that's great. I would probably rather just move them on to like more online where I can manage a lot more of them and give them that brand feel. But then, I probably couldn't hire someone to do it.
Yeah, it's always been a funny one, hey?
Yeah. It works for some people.
It does, and they do it very well.
Yeah. I just don't think I could do it, to be honest. No, I also think my clients wouldn't want to move to someone else either. So, And
then, obviously, again, you have to take into account like the pricing point of view. Like if you're taking on someone that's only got say 6 months in the industry to take over your level of training, do you then charge that person the same amount of money?
Or... because then you still have to pay the PT as well.
Exactly.
So and the rent on the floor. So
it's a little sticky situation, eh?
Yeah, it is. But I mean, it's good for the people that do it. It just I don't think it'd be an avenue I would explore personally.
That's fair enough. Were you active when you were younger? Like, did you play any sports?
No. I kind of did like a bit of sports because I was forced to. Like, as a kid, we have to go and do like basketball and stuff like that. I was never really into contact sports. Anything that had a ball coming at my face, I was like, no fucking way. But I was into athletics, so like sprints, long jump, high jump. I was always like really good at those kinds of things, and I liked going for like long runs. And then as soon as I found out about the gym, I was pretty stuck on that. So a little bit athletic, but not in the typical way that other people were in sports.
Cool. I just said like you've only been in the industry for kind of like 12 months as a PT. Did you have a mentor or role model who shaped you coming into the industry?
Honestly, I have been with my coach for years. Like, I'm talking maybe 5 years, maybe even more. He's very, very intelligent, and a lot of the information I learnt from him, and it's what got me really interested, because you think that there's only so much you can learn, and then there's more that you find out. So that kind of intelligence sharing that I got from him really made me quite engaged and wanting to explore more. So I'd say if I did have a role model, it would be probably him and the way that he's taught me about things.
Yep.
But in terms of like the way someone has their business set up and the way that they operate, hats off to like EBT, Adam Sullivan.
Yeah.
Like, his personal brand too, but he has people managing his clients, which I think is great.
Yep.
And Lauren Simpson has always been like, I was like, that's like the peak, that's the goal, right? That's what you want to get to. Yeah. So, yeah, those would be my top 3.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. That's cool. So you think so you'd say it's pretty like paramount if you are a new PT coming into the industry to have that level of what it's like to be coached to a certain extent, maybe? Or
yeah, I think you can learn as much as you want, because obviously you have to do your hours with other PTs, but you've always got to have your own little groove. And I think the necessity to always wanting to learn more and listening to your clients to understand them so that you can teach them better is like essential, right? Yeah. Because I feel like everyone like reads the blueprint of what you were taught, and you think, okay, well, that's just how I'm going to run a session, every single session. And that's just not going to work for everybody.
No.
You've really got to step out of like the mold and try and figure out people on a one-on-one basis, and also like stay engaged with other coaches and listen to how other coaches are doing it, because there's always going to be someone with less experience that's doing better than you, because they just have new knowledge. And I think you always need to be open to learning more. Yeah. Just constantly learning.
But like any business though, like just not being afraid to, if there's a whatever other business, but like if there's an AI that can kind of help shape your business, like just being open to that different avenue of running a business.
And you can't, you got to take your ego out of it. You can't be like, well, I've been a coach for 10 years, so I know best.
Exactly.
It's like, actually, the people that are fresh in the industry probably know best now, because all of their like education is fresh.
Yep.
Like, so I think we should all keep learning off each other and not kind of
don't get stuck in our
put
ways.
a roof on your ceiling. Yeah, it's easy to get stuck in your ways, and you think, oh, I've put it so much work into this, I should know more, but everyone's going to know more. Yeah.
No, I agree. What's something the fitness industry gets wrong?
I think generalizing people and not listening to understand. Like, I see it a lot with, you speak to someone and they're like, especially when it comes to nutrition, and they're like, oh, I'm not eating much, but I still gain weight. And a lot of coaches will be like, that's wrong. You're obviously eating quite a bit. But for their understanding, they have not much food. It's just very calorie dense food. So I think you need to like stop like shutting people down and putting them out of that bracket and like understand. I think a lot of people are very quick to shut people down in that aspect. I think also, especially like with hormones and that kind of aspect, which is kind of just new and coming into coaching quite a bit now, that like our hormones affect us quite a bit, like our sleep, all of these kinds of factors. Like, we need to think about everything and not just like physical and hormones, but like emotionally, like how are you going this week? Why aren't you hitting your goals? What's going on in your life, and how is that going to affect your training, and having empathy there as well. I think a lot of people just lack that. They're like, I gave you a plan, you didn't follow it, so you're not a good client. And I don't think that's the case. There's always like a story behind it. I think also like we've got this problem with social media where people just the cortisol thing, how they're like, oh, cortisol face, and it's blah blah blah. People will find like an issue, like a physical issue that is so generalized that everyone goes, oh, I have all those symptoms too, and then they automatically assume that they've got high cortisol, and then this bloke's offering like $10 million to fix your high cortisol, and they're allowing them to do that in the industry, when it's like most people don't have high cortisol. They just need to have more whole foods
and just sleep more.
And that's all this coach is selling you. They're not selling you a miraculous cure to high cortisol. And also, your cortisol has to go high at certain points to motivate. Like, it's a necessary thing. It needs to fluctuate up and down.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I think like just the fact that they don't monitor that kind of stuff and they let people make those, it's scammy. It is scammy, right? Yeah. I don't like that. Yeah.
Maybe not from a selling point of view, but also like I think what a lot of people get wrong along the lines of like hormones and cortisol, but also inflammation.
Yeah.
Like everyone thinks that inflammation is this big bad thing, but inflammation's actually, it can be very beneficial.
You need inflammation to heal your muscles.
To function. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think they just like find out a little bit about one thing that not a lot of people know about, and they capitalize on the fact that no one knows much about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it needs to be like monitored or regulated in some way.
Bit better anyway. You've built a career in 12 months in a very competitive industry. What separates successful PTs from average ones, in your opinion?
You have to be really good at rejection. Very good at rejection. Because otherwise you lose your consistency, because you need to be consistent. Like the first few months it was like outreach, content, like consistently, and you don't see results. So you have to be like happy with the fact that you just spent 3 hours on a reel yesterday and you got no leads from it, 2 views, and it just blew out.
Bombed.
Yeah. And then sometimes you'll just go through and you'll text and you'll call all of these new members. None of them want to sign up, and you're like, you have to be like fine with rejection, but you have to also learn through rejection. Like, you can't just be like, well, everyone's stupid and that's why this didn't work. You have to be like, okay, why didn't this work and how can I change it
and reassess
to do better? Yeah.
Do you think your experience in the corporate world, did you say you sell software?
Oh yeah, I was in software.
Yeah, so did you get much rejection from that?
Yeah, so I did a little bit in marketing while I was still in uni, so radio sales, and then I did software as well. And the rejection you get exposed to in those two industries is like, they call it champagne and razor blades, because you can have a day where you have cold called like 300 people and you've just been hung up on all day. And you kind of have to be like, it's all good, I'm going to come back tomorrow and do the same thing, and hope for a different result. Like, that's the definition of insanity, right? But it did help me with rejection. But I mean, I'm not immune to it. Like, obviously, like if I'm having a bad week, it's obviously going to catch up to me, and I'm still going to be like, well, this is really shit. But I think it's just persisting through that. Like, even if you do feel like shit and you do feel like you're a failure and getting rejected, just keep going. But
how boring would it be if everyone signed up?
Man,
I mean, you'd be fucking rich.
Yeah, I'd also be like panicked, because I'd be like, oh my god,
what's going on?
How am I going to manage all these people? So I think getting rejected a bit at the start is good, because it gives you some time to start building up those processes to deal with a higher volume, because you're not ready at the start anyways. You're not at all. No.
You think you are, but you're not.
You have to do quite a bit of practice. And I think also, like, something a lot of online coaches miss out on is the face-to-face practice. I think that's essential.
It is.
Honestly, because a lot of people, like, not to generalize, but some coaches online, if they haven't done face-to-face, they don't know what it's like for someone with this type of body type to do a deadlift, because it's like not mechanical for them, but they've never seen it in person, and they can't test it out, and they just don't have the experience with watching different types of people do the same thing. And how they feel about it, and how they feel in the gym, you know, like, because it's, some people get really bad anxiety in the gym, like, and I think you learn a lot through the face-to-face component.
You do. Yeah, definitely. No, I agree 100%. The amount of conversations we've had on this podcast about that specific thing.
Really?
Definitely.
I think you have to have that
face-to-face.
Have to do it. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on people who say don't be a PT because the market is saturated?
Well, that's what I thought as well. So honestly, I try not to listen to them too much. Any market is saturated if you have a closed mind. You know, like there's a million places you can go and buy clothes. That doesn't mean that you're not going to. Yeah, exactly. And there's heaps of evidence that you can excel in an industry that is already saturated. Like, I mean, workout apparel. How many workout apparel brands are there? And then new ones can still come in and like completely dominate just because they've done something different. Like, it's, it might be saturated, but there's also like a lot of people in the world. Like, I think there's enough for everyone.
Exactly. There's enough to go around.
Exactly. And just stand out. It might be saturated if you're a boring person and you're exactly the same as everyone else, but if you're different,
Yep.
yeah.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
What do you think new PTs get wrong when starting out? Oh, okay. What do you think you did wrong when you first started out?
What I did wrong when I first started out.
Or what could you have done better?
I don't know. Oh, you know what? Scheduling.
Okay.
So, if you don't set hours for yourself and manage your own schedule, you're going to have a really bad week. Because if you take someone and they're like, I want to do 9 a.m. on Monday, and you let them start setting their own hours, and then another person's like, well, I want to do 2 p.m., and they're the only 2 people you have that day, you're going to be here from like 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
It's a long time to train.
Yeah. You say, these are my hours that I work. This is the time spot I have available. Can you make it or not? How committed are you? You know? Because otherwise you just have a roster where you've got like 2 hours in the morning, 5 hours at night, and then you've got like 3 clients and then a 2-hour gap with another 2 clients, and then it just... That is the most annoying thing. So what I did was I just one day just consolidated everyone. I was like, these are the spots, where would you like to move to? And then I just programmed it out.
Yep.
Yeah, because if you just let them pick their own times, you're going to be all over the place.
You hear, 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I think those early days for me, though, like it's because, beggars can't be choosers at the start. Like you take absolutely everything you can get, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I was starting off just throughout COVID as well. So like when I was just kind of getting the ball rolling, and then, 3-day lockdown, 5-day lockdown. So, if your first one was at, as you said, like 6 or 7 a.m. and you got one, maybe like one around 10, and then 2, and then you walk out of here at like 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Like it's a long day, and you're back here at 5 o'clock the next day.
Exactly. You can capitalize on it, and sometimes, you need to take what you can just get. Yep. But if you keep doing that for too long, it's just going to
burn out.
It's not going to work in your favor. Yep. You can't pour from an empty cup, and then people will leave you because you're like always tired, and
100%. So kind of like on top of that, what's the most difficult part of running a fitness business that nobody talks about?
This one is it's 24/7, You go into a normal business, like say if I want to get my lashes done and I book an appointment to get my lashes done, these are their operating hours, and that's it.
Yep.
Whereas us, it's like, you've got your sessions, but then if you've got like online and people are reaching out to you like, hey, I fucked up this meal right now, how can I fix it? Like, how do I log this, or how do I adjust this? And you have to you need to be there. Yeah, because some people train at 6 o'clock in the afternoon when you've technically clocked off, if that's how your day works. But they're like, my session's not loading, or the machine's not free, what do I do? Or, you need to be 24/7, which is really taxing on the person as well. And I think a lot of the time people, unless you make it obvious to them, they just don't think about the fact that you've got a life outside of your work as well. It's a 24/7 thing to them too. And in a way, you sometimes do have to answer instantaneously. But I think the hardest part was, I think I did get quite burnt out because I wanted to be so right on to responses and be that person, but you can't be that person for everyone else. And you can't obviously pour from an empty cup, of course. Exactly. So, yeah.
Do you have off-peak hours where you just don't?
Yeah, so I basically set the standard to be I'll get back to you within 24 hours. And if I'm for example, when I was traveling, I still kept working while I was traveling, but I let everyone know hey, I might not have reception. So if the responses are a bit slow, just be conscious of that.
Yep.
And if there's anything I need to know at the start of the week in your check-in, definitely let me know then, because that's when I'll go over it in full detail. But I think you can kind of just set that precedence, and a lot of people will understand if you're hey, I'm so sorry, I was asleep at 10 p.m. at night. They'll be
on a Saturday night.
Yeah, they're oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to as well. You have to have those. You have to put those measurements in place.
Yeah. Because you are a real person too. You've got a life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you had to rebuild your coaching business tomorrow from zero, what's your blueprint?
Rebuild from tomorrow, I would literally just first thing I would do before I get into the gym is a bunch of marketing material with my face on it. If you can get it onto the screens, like obviously we do screens. I know some gyms do posters. Who knows what it is? If you've got like business cards, get your face onto as many things as you possibly can and put it in as many places as you possibly can. Because you can have your brand name, but no one knows who that's related to. And if they see you on the floor, they're not going to know who you are. But if you've got your face everywhere, they're like, oh, it's like building that, familiarity.
Yep.
So I'd probably focus on marketing first and foremost, just having my face on a few things ready to go. And then just when you have nothing to stand from, I think you should give what you can give. Like if you don't have money to use for marketing, you need to use your time. And that's just like free sessions. Like give out as much of your free time to as many people as you can, because that's just basically going to get your face out there. They're going to get the experience and then they're going to buy into it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. And then just kind of go on from there, just trying to capitalize and make sales or talk to people. I think walking that gym floor is so underrated.
Yes, I probably don't walk the gym floor as much as like other people have. Like I know a lot of coaches definitely started out with the on the floor and approach other people. And I don't think I really did that personally, but I think just being at the gym quite a bit, like I would train clients and I'd kind of like hang around. So a lot of people would see you through those peak hours, and training and stuff like that. If people see you training, all those kinds of things, wearing a uniform. Yeah.
Goes a long way, hey?
Yes, it does.
What's one investment you made, whether it was software, education, or a mentorship, that had the highest return of investment?
I did have a business coach for a while, and that was not in relation to, because obviously I have a Bachelor of Business, so I was like, I know the systems to set up a business. The thing is, I don't know how to make that work for my business, right? Because on paper, I know this is the process, blah, blah, blah.
Is this different to your coach you were talking about before?
Different.
Okay.
Yeah, so I actually had a business coach. I've got a personal PT.
Yep.
I always will as well, because I think we always need the accountability and the knowledge. But I had a business coach as well. So when I started with him, it was mostly to focus on online and sales online. And that was probably the best investment that I made. Also just because someone like is there to be like, when you have a PT, they're like, hey, you're fucking up here, you need to do better. Having someone do that for you in a business also really helps, because you get in your head, you're like, oh, I've done, this many hours on content and I've seen nothing from it this week. I'm giving up, I'm a failure. And they're like, you're a fucking idiot. Like it got this many views and this is how you can capitalize. I think it's always good to have. That was the best return on investment, I would say. Yeah.
Interesting. So what's the fastest way for a PT to go from broke to booked?
Consistency. Just go out and call as many people as you can. Go through every single person that signed up to the gym if they let you. Give out free sessions to as many people as you can, and do as much content as you can, just because obviously that puts you out to a bigger market as well. I'd say that's probably the best, and learn how to close properly as well. Having those systems in place, like process from getting a free session to signing someone on for like a minimum of 8 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever it may be. Make sure that's all set up and you know that process well, so that you can just execute.
It's just automatic.
Just execution. But I'd say just consistency. Call as many people as you can, talk to as many people as you can, give as many free sessions as you can.
Most overrated skill for a PT?
Overrated skill? What do you mean?
So what do you think a lot of people have the idea that you must have as a PT to be successful?
I think this isn't to speak negatively, but I feel like a lot of people will go and do like one competition, and a lot of people will look at them and go, wow, they achieved this, which is really impressive, and they'll want to sign up. And it's like, they probably don't know anything about training. They just know how to compete really well.
And do as they're told, really.
Yeah, which is really great, right? They've shown that they can put in the work, but sometimes they don't have the experience with helping others know how to do that. So I think trying to pick your PT from someone that won a competition is not
it's
always,
crazy,
yeah. I think they are, they're really successful and they've done a really great job, right? And they're very successful at competing, but it doesn't always mean that they're going to be extremely successful at coaching. Yeah.
What's your perfect PT day?
My perfect PT day would be not having a 6 a.m. client. I'd say maybe starting the day at 8 would be ideal. Maybe, 3 of my really favorite clients and then a really good session straight after that.
Yeah.
Having a good lunch, going home and just really getting into work that I enjoy doing. How you just get stuck in like a
flow state.
A flow state?
Yeah.
Otherwise, sometimes it's like, I don't really feel like doing programs today, but that's what I really have to do. Yeah. Whereas sometimes I'm like, I really, in the mood. That would be the perfect day, like it just playing out perfectly, right into bed. Yeah.
I find the same thing with like editing. I was kind of talking about it before. Like there's some days where it feels like it's just an absolute grind to have to edit or whatever. But then there's some times if I'm like editing this or a video, whatever it is, it's like, bang, 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 done within, half an hour or whatever.
Like sometimes I'm like, get really into doing like marketing, like putting marketing together, and then other times I'm like, I really need to update my marketing, but I just cannot be doing such a tedious task today.
Especially if you've got like a little bit of like OCD as well. It's like that has to be
takes hours and hours.
Just to find a template. It's like trying to find a movie on Netflix.
No, it's terrible.
You watch most of the trailers first. What's a non-negotiable health habit that has changed your life?
Non-negotiable health habit, I think for me is mostly whole foods. That is going to be enough to change anybody's life, because I think it's something a lot of people don't think about enough, because especially we've got all these processed protein sources now, everything like that. I think having the best like whole foods for lunch, dinner and breakfast, anything else that kind of falls into that isn't going to send you too far over the edge. You know what I mean? That is the best way to maintain consistency long term. And once you start eating mostly whole foods, you don't want takeaway and processed food.
Because you feel shit after it.
Your drive for it decreases, so staying at a healthy weight is so much easier when you're eating better food. And it improves your gut health and everything like that as well.
Just feel overall better.
Whole foods, 1 ingredient foods.
Yes. Well, it takes a bit of a toll on the wallet these days, but it's definitely worth it.
It does, hey?
Yeah.
And then all of it's kind of like, is this actually organic or is it not?
Yeah. How do you generally manage stress and burnout?
With great difficulty. I try and take time for myself. I definitely am someone that thinks that they're immune sometimes to stress and burnout. And
we're all hypocrites.
We are. And I like as PTs, I'm like, you guys need 8 hours sleep. You need, this much sunlight. And then I'm like, I've had 4 hours sleep.
And you're up to your 15th coffee.
I've had like 3 energy drinks. I'm like barely surviving. But I think having processes, so like, it gets to the end of the week and you're like, I'm so burnt out from this week. All I want to do is like, just go out and have a few drinks and really just super relax, hardcore, instantaneously. In the end, that's not what it's going to work. What's going to work best for you is probably going to like an ice bath or a sauna on a Friday night and getting actually a good 10 hours of sleep to catch up. And then having, I think also taking at least 1 day a week where you're not doing work, going out and doing activities.
Just complete switch off.
That was hard for me to start off with because I was like working 2 jobs, of course, while you're starting out. And then I don't think I had a single day off until I want to say maybe like 3 months ago. I just started actually forcing myself to take like 1 full day where I just don't do anything.
No phone.
You just feel guilty though. You're sitting there, you're like, I could be doing so much more. But then you can't, it's going to be a disservice.
No, you're right. But it is so paramount. And I know if I'm starting to get like a little bit crook, like a head cold or whatever, I know that's when I need to slow down.
And taking sick days too, like I always feel guilty because I'm like, well, someone's got to do the work, and I'm the only person here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I always feel bad like cancelling on people if I am really sick, but I think get it sorted out, get yourself better straight away, otherwise it's going to be like a longer term issue, and then it's going to really fuck you. Yeah.
100%. How do you stay motivated to train when your energy or mood is low?
Well, I'm in the gym every day, so that's kind of like exposure, right? You're like watching other people, you're like, damn, I really do need to train. But it's not motivation. I'd say it's routine. I have like this is what I say to my clients. I'm like, have a bare minimum, right, set for yourself, right? Because obviously we'd love to train 5 days a week, 10K steps every day, and hit our calories and macros every single day, but it's just not realistic.
Yep.
So on the weeks where things are really fucked and you're super stressed, have like a bare minimum that makes you feel good enough, but doesn't throw you over the threshold, right? Yep. So my bare minimum is at least 2 weight-based sessions, and I usually average about 10K steps anyways because the job. Yeah. And then, getting good nutrients. That's like the absolute bare minimum.
Yep.
And then if like it's a bad week, as long as I get that, that's good enough for me. For other people, it might be different. It might be like at least just getting some sunshine and some steps, you know what I mean? So setting a bare minimum will make you feel like you've achieved something every week.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never thought of that. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's a good tool set.
Yeah. It is really good because, people's parents die, or, something happens and it's like, all just up shit's creek, and they're like, and now my food's fucked and
it's
I can't meal prep and I haven't been to the gym in 10 weeks, and I'm like, just do less and you'll achieve more, right? Just do less, and that's a lot more than what you would have done if you're sitting there going, well, it's all fucked and I give up. You probably would have blown over, right? You would have been like going into that spiral where you eat everything and everything's just ridiculous. But small achievements are better than none. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. What do you think is the biggest psychological barrier people face when trying to change their bodies?
I think like there is a bit of a psychological barrier in the way they feel about themselves, and I think that's something like I really focus on a lot, which is mindset. Because if you've never done something before, of course it's hard for you to understand that you're going to be able to do it, right? And you notice it a lot when you're coaching people that have never been to the gym before. They go, I can't do it. And I'm like, well, you just did it. So, it's like you're kind of learning right now. And I think it's changing the words you say to yourself and having a bit more trust in yourself, which is not easy, right? But I think trusting yourself and positive self-talk is the biggest psychological barrier. Everyone can do it. If someone else can do it, then of course you can do it. But it's just breaking through that. And that is only learnt through repetition and proving that to yourself. So you have to keep doing it to keep proving it to yourself as well. Yeah. Yeah,
definitely. Do you think there's any benefits in having like a negative self-talk to yourself?
Some people, Goggins writes out all of his hate comments and uses it as like aggressive motivation. I think aggressive motivation is really good short term. I've achieved many things out of spite, and then when it wears off, you're like, oh,
it feels good.
I need something motivating. I think expecting more from yourself in a way, if that ends up being like a negative talk, potentially could be beneficial for you. Obviously not coddling yourself all the time, but I think self-belief is definitely important too. It can get too far, right? You can coddle yourself too much and then you don't do anything, or you can like be negative to yourself too much where you also don't do anything because you hate yourself and nothing's working.
A sweet spot.
The key to life in everything is moderation. For everything, right? Alcohol, you have too much, you're an alcoholic. You don't have any. Some people that say you're not fun. So it's like moderation. Same with food, junk food, exercise. You can exercise too much. Even water. Like if you drink too much water, you can drown yourself.
Crazy,
everything's moderation.
What do you think is an underrated exercise?
Honestly, I think the compounds, you go online, you see everyone doing all these like wacky dacky like new movements and you're like, oh wow, that's really interesting. But compounds, like if you nail the compounds and you just do compounds, I think that's the best. The old way is the best, 100%. Deadlifts, really important. I think some people avoid deadlifts because their back hurts, but
or they hear and see other things, like negative things about it.
And it's like, well, if you've got a sore back, the thing that's going to support it is the muscles that are there, you know what I mean? So you need to build them up. So I think like deadlifts are really important. Squats maybe, like, at a certain point.
It's case by case.
It's like risk versus reward on it in certain cases, but I think like, the basics,
the big ones,
are underrated.
What's the biggest training mistake people make when they're trying to tone up or lean out?
Doing too much too hard. You know, they're like, okay, I want to, you know, and I think the worst thing for this are those like really quick 6-week challenges that they do, where they just go in and smash them. They're going from nothing to like 20,000 steps a day, 2 HIIT classes, weight training, a perfect
trying
eating.
to lose like a kilo a week or something.
It's like you're going to burn yourself out, and then it's not going to stick, and then you're going to be like, why does this always happen to me? I can never lose weight. You know, slower, ease it in slower. Your body is going to be shocked. Initially. So I think that's probably the biggest mistake, is going too hard, too
quick.
Because then like if you go too hard and you go to the max capacity on everything, and then your body stalls, there's no further you can go from there. You've hit the ceiling. If you slowly ease it in, your body stalls, you've still got this much room to keep, like, you can add more steps, you can add more workouts. But if you've already hit everything, you're like, well,
that's it, what else is there?
End of the road, pal.
Just give up now.
Yeah.
What was the moment you realised content creation could change your career as a PT? Like, was there a specific time or a specific reel that just...
No, I think I've always really been into content creation just generally. Like, I always wanted to start a YouTube channel when I was younger. But obviously you see people that are just like people that you know, and they go from just working an average job to having like hundreds and thousands of followers with all of these opportunities. You know, you won't get opportunities if people don't know who you are. You got to put yourself out there. So I think just watching the growth, like, obviously, this makes me sound old, but I was around when Facebook first started and TikTok, and I remember looking at TikTok and I was like, there's all weirdos on here, like, I'm not going to post on here. And then people started becoming like millionaires. I'm like, God damn it, like, so I think that was probably one of the moments, is like watching all of the platforms develop.
How do you come up with your ideas for your reels?
It's usually no one's safe, right? So any conversation I have with someone, I'm like, I could use that for real. Right? And I've had like friends like send me like questions with like, should I be eating this, or what do you think about this? And I'm like, I could make a reel out of that, you know, because these are things that, you know, everyone needs to know, but everyone also like doesn't know as well. So it's usually based off client interactions or interactions I've had with my friends, or if I've seen a video that I don't quite agree with, like I could use that to explain the opposite. But otherwise it's mostly just I work on a winging it basis.
That's what I find as well, sometimes for the podcast as well, but it's like, well, I know this, so that means a lot of other people must know this, but then there must be some people that don't know this. So it's like trying to find that specific topic where it's like, where you try and tick all those boxes, where it's like enough education to the point where they might learn something different, or they might disagree with what I'm saying, which is great, and then it kind of solidifies their own ideology around that topic as well, you know.
And I think you learn from teaching too, like explaining things to other people as well. So
I'm sure you've probably gone halfway through like a conversation or educating someone or a workout, and you say something like a cue or something you don't quite use before, and you're like, fuck, that's pretty good, I might start using it a little bit more often.
Exactly. Or I'm explaining something to someone and I'm like doing it from a different perspective, and they're like, I never thought about that. I'm like, me neither, it just came out.
I feel so fucking smart right now.
Someone get a camera.
That's good. Do you think it's okay to copy other people with stuff?
Everyone does it on Instagram. Like, most content is just regurgitated, like trends and stuff. Copying someone word for word, absolutely not. Like, especially if it's like someone that has done really well and it's not like a huge trend where everyone's doing it. I think copying them word for word is like just embarrassing for you. Gross, but look, I mean, someone once sent me someone else's video and they were like, this is pretty much very exact, like similar to a video that you did. And I said, well, I'm very flattered because they must have liked it. It wasn't the exact same, but I was flattered that they enjoyed it. So I think Inspiration, yeah. Copying, no. Yeah.
Do you get many like negative feedback or criticism?
Yes.
How do you deal with that?
I get a lot of hate sometimes, especially if a reel goes viral. Like that's where you'll get a lot of hate. Honestly, I don't know. I think I was born with some kind of immunity to hate comments. I look at the internet. When I see people commenting on the internet, you're an internet person. I don't think you actually exist.
Just a little avatar.
I have no idea who you are. Yeah. I mean, if my dad starts commenting and hating, I'm like, Jesus Christ. But to the other people, I mean, I don't even think about the people that are going to be looking at my content, which is good for me for the content posting. Not good because sometimes I'm like, oh, I didn't think about the people that would be watching that, you know? Yeah. So hate, I look at it like engagement. So I'm like, I'll stir them up. Yeah, I'll respond back and keep stirring them because it's more comments. I'm like, hell yeah, you're an idiot. Yeah. I love this. You're helping me out.
I'm sure you've seen the accounts where they say something so left field or so right field to try and get that hate, which then, you know, I'm not saying I'm a fucking algorithm genius and anything, but it kind of helps that algorithm kind of come up into that person's feed. So if they're just doom scrolling and there's someone that says something so ridiculous and it has like, you know, 1,000 comments on something, you know, it's going to make you watch it, then that makes that comment, that video or that reel go even more viral.
100%. If people are hating on you, you're doing the right thing. Not a lot of people have haters. And it's I think it's very good. I like it. It's good engagement. Obviously, sometimes I read something and I'm like, you're an idiot, and I'll go try and fight back. But then I'm like, oh no.
You're shouting to the void.
It's not worth it. Yeah, I'll stir them up and get them to comment more. But if it's actually something that like gets me, I'm like, I'm not going to respond. Yeah.
If you had to start over on social media from 0 followers today, what would your strategy be?
It would be just making as much content as possible. You know, sometimes I get stuck on like, everyone's like, it's the quantity, and then other people are like, it's the quality of the reels and stuff like that. And I think it's, you don't know. You know, I've had reels that took me 3 hours to make, do not well at all, and then I've had a reel that I made in 2 seconds and it's gotten millions, you know. I think just being consistent and trying and posting as much content as you can, as often as you can, and watching what other people are doing is also really beneficial.
Do you have like a set, like it must be daily or 3 to 7 times per week, or like on a Monday you'll post a reel, on a Tuesday you'll post a post, like is that
look, I've tried to have a social schedule, but I also want to do everything at maximum capacity, and it's just not possible. Like I want to be like, Monday I do this, Tuesday I do that, Wednesday I do this, Thursday I do that. But then sometimes I'll see something and I'm like, I need to post about that now because it's trending right now, you know, and it changes. It's so fluid. Look, I have the same thing, bare minimum theory, at least 3 reels a week. But I do have like a strategy in terms of like a certain amount of them need to be like funny, like engaging for people to see me. And then a certain amount of them need to be like educational. So it's like, I get your attention and now I show you that I actually know what I'm fucking talking about, kind of thing. So I balance it out that way. Stories and stuff, I mean, if you put too many stories up, you lose views. It's like, it's just whatever. But I just have a bare minimum of 3 a week.
Interesting. Cool. Was there anything else you wanted to touch on?
No, it's all pretty good.
Sweet. We'll finish off with some quick fire questions.
Oh gosh.
All right, these are the fun ones.
Okay.
Coffee or pre-workout?
Pre-workout.
Pre-workout. What's your pre-workout?
I'm using one, which is absolutely insane at the moment. Oh my god, what's the name of the company? Jason works for them.
Is it here? Or
yeah, it's downstairs.
Not dialed.
Yes,
Is it
dialed.
Okay.
It's the dialed carnage.
Okay.
It's insane. Sometimes I have to have the shred because it's a little bit less caffeine, but the dialed carnage is hands down my favorite.
Caffeine's pretty high up there, eh?
Yes, you feel cracked out, yeah.
Like 300 milligrams or
sometimes you just need it.
Yeah. Favorite exercise of all time?
RDLs.
RDLs. Most overrated exercise?
Glute kickbacks.
Least favorite, but you still do it?
Overhead presses.
Okay.
They suck.
Yeah.
But they're so good.
Favorite piece of gym equipment?
My favorite piece of gym equipment would probably be just a barbell. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go-to gym playlist song?
It's probably going to be Eminem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is good.
Till I collapse. It's probably like you can't have a bad session.
I mean, talking about Spotify raps, but that was mine.
Yeah. That was my number one artist of the year as well, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. What'd you put in your PT by? It was
It was the Lonely Island.
Lonely Island. Yeah.
That
is
was
that legit or is it just taking the piss?
No, have you listened to that song?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh wait, which one?
It was what was it?
I got a few there.
I threw it on the ground. I remember it was like a stupid song by Lonely Island. I just did that as satire because I was like, I hope everyone's going to be like, oh, what is that? And then they go and listen to it and they're like, what the hell? Yeah.
Do you prefer to train in the morning or the evening?
I prefer to train at midday. I feel like evening I'm exhausted from the day and it's like high risk, right? Anything could happen during the day and throw you off course.
Yep.
But morning I'm way too tired.
Okay.
Yeah. So midday's pretty good.
Yep.
Not a lot of people get that opportunity, but
No.
yeah.
One fitness myth you'd get rid of forever?
It's the healthy versus non-healthy eating kind of argument, because I mean you can have someone that eats healthy every single day of their life but they eat so much that it makes them overweight, and then that effectively doesn't make them healthy. I think it's all about balance and control, and we need to take away the healthy versus unhealthy eating kind of thing, and just focus on like the volume. Certain micronutrients are very important.
Do you kind of tie that in with like the whole if it fits your macros?
I don't like the if it fits your macros kind of thing. That micronutrients play a crucial role, right? Like you need micronutrients. But I mean, like conversely, like you could have someone that doesn't eat any micronutrients. It's all beige food and they're skinny as, you know? So I don't think like eating healthy makes you healthy looking. I think it's like the volume and the structure and like the way that you space out your day.
Yep.
I also don't like the if it fat. Yeah, that's not good.
Nah. It's like very like 2010, 2011.
I mean,
people might still do it, but
well, for some people as well, I look at some people and it's like different stages for them, right? If there's someone that eats a lot of beige foods and a lot of macros and a lot of takeaways, going from doing 10,000 calories a day of that to 5,000 calories a day of that is going to be beneficial for them, because they're going to be reducing their intake, which will reduce their body weight, which is going to be beneficial. But I think like working it in tiers to be like, okay, now that you can manage your portions, let's start increasing micronutrients. So I think there's a place, because there's like a process, and it's different for everyone, right?
Yep.
Based on what experience you've had or what kind of like lifestyle you've had previous. So for some people it's applicable, but not good long term.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd have a few of these, but what's your biggest gym ick?
My biggest gym ick is, I would say, leaving your weights on the machines is probably my biggest ick.
Okay.
Like, it's annoying for the person coming up after you, but a lot of people don't think about the fact that not everyone is strong enough to de-rack that for you, or able. Like, some people come into the gym in wheelchairs. Like, they can't reach up and de-rack your weights, you know? So it's just annoying. And I think, like, how hard is it? If you put it on there, take it off.
Take it off,
Yeah. What does your house look like?
To be fair, it is handy if you if that is like your weight you're ready to use. Like that's perfect.
Yeah. I mean, it's great in that case. And then I'll be like, wait, leave it on.
Yeah.
But if it's just someone being arrogant and leaving like 200 kilos on a squat bar, you're like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks. And last one, Dana, what does success look like to you?
I think enjoying what you do every day. Yeah. That would be quite successful. Yeah. And not being homeless because you do what you enjoy every day.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, cool. Too easy. That was good.
Cool.
Was there anything you wanted to plug, or what's your handles if people want to follow you or reach out to you to work with you?
Yeah. So most of my stuff you can access from my socials. So my Instagram is dana.roberts with 2 S's _. And I have the same user for my TikTok accounts as well, and then you can apply it through there.
Yeah, cool. Do you put much on through your YouTube or?
Will be soon, but not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit. I do shorts a little bit, but it's like just one of those. I just don't have time to focus.
Yeah,
on
it's a lot.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
If you find value in these episodes, best way to support the show is by hitting subscribe. It helps me stay motivated knowing this content is providing value to you and it keeps the episodes coming. You can follow along on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, and Facebook at Coach's Corner Podcast. Thank you to anyone that listens. I appreciate your time, your attention, and your support. And thank you once again to Dana for doing the podcast today.
Thanks for having me.
I will see you in the next episode of Coach's Corner. Thanks, guys.